who apparently didn't please Peter Rowe, according to Philip Clark. He blows the whistle, gets us underway, and Darren Shaw runs the ball out again for the Salford City Reds. Made 20 metres ground then before he was clobbered. Now it's a vital period of this match, and we were debating at half-time, Steve-O, when will Steve McCormack throw the joker on? When will he bring Bobby Goulding off the bench?
Well, it surprised me that he's not out there already, but I think he's obviously told the two halfbacks, Graham Holroyd, Ian Watson, that if they don't combine well within the first 5 or 6 minutes, or maybe 10 minutes, then I'm sure he's got to throw him into the fray. Graham Holroyd really has to up the tempo. He's got to be a little bit more adventurous, and he's got to start getting involved more and more.
Well, that was Holroyd's kick over the top. It wasn't a bad one. It drifted away from Sobotabua, but the big Fijian international, he got to it first, played the ball then.
Should have been a penalty. It was Watson that knocked it out of his hands, but the official just let it go.
Well, he's let a lot go tonight. And, well, maybe he doesn't want to get on after all. What a shame.
Is that some sort of Red Indian sort of...
Well, maybe it is. How old is he, Bobby, these days? 30. Oh, fair enough. Davis dabs the ball over the top. Skips away, and it went in between full-back and winger. And Pinkney has picked it up.
Good chase as well.
Let's go downstairs to Bill and see what was said at half-time.
Well, Eddie, Wakefield Trinity Wildcats pretty satisfied with the position they find themselves in at the start of this second half. They're really looking to pin Salford down in that end of the field, the Salford's third of the field, and force the mistake. As you can see, looking by that Wakefield tackling early on there, really trying to pin Salford down, force the error, and then capitalise on it. And they won't be pleased. Peter Rowe will not be pleased then after all that hard work to see the penalty given away, and Hancock immediately tears away with the ball.
Great run from Hancock. Floats the pass then to Littler. We'll be back to Bill in a moment because Littler has found some space ahead of him, and it was a good tackle needed, and it came in from Gareth Ellis. Quick play the ball though. Back on the inside it goes, driven in by Corvo. And Wakefield, from being in an attacking position, are now having to defend for their lives 5 metres from their own line. And here is Watson. Back on the inside it comes to Paul Heighton. Defence is there in numbers though on that occasion, but Salford really still do have plenty of tackles in the bank, and it's with Watson now. Watson gets it away to Holroyd. It goes further wide, and wide again, and Pinkney's in for number 2. Great start for Salford and Steve McCormack, and a great start for Nick Pinkney. They had men on the overlap out wide, and Wakefield pay the price for a touch of indiscipline at the other end of the field. And then Pinkney comes up with a try for Salford.
Silly swinging arm, gave the penalty, got him sorted out there. Oh, that was great work, wasn't it? Absolutely superb play. Watch how Holroyd injects himself into it, playing out wide. What an outstanding pass there. Well, he'll be pleased with that, Steve McCormack. But Peter Rowe, he'll be absolutely livid that they were in a good position, and as Eddie said, in discipline, allowed them to gain the momentum, and surely this guy will add the extras.
And this kick, if it lands over the bar, will give Salford the lead for the first time. Holroyd is a kicker of some quality. It's 18-16 to the Salford City Reds. Let's go back to Bill immediately, and let's hear what was said at half-time in the Salford dressing room.
Well, whatever it was, Eddie, it did the trick, because Salford have got the start they wanted to this second half. But the one area that Steve McCormack is looking to really lift in this second half is winning the battle on the ground, winning the tackle and getting dominance in that area, and then they can apply the game plan that they've been working on all week. At the moment, they're still, even though they've got their noses in front, it still feels they're on the back foot. They need to dominate more.
Well, at the moment they're dominating on the scoreboard. That was a very fine try, and a priceless one for Salford as well. Yeah, just what they needed.
It certainly was, and quick thinking from Michael Hancock. He got on with the job in hand, and Wakefield, well, they were just hanging around, and he gained about 35-40 metres.
Watson going for the 40-20, and it sailed out on the full.
Not the best. Yet a hero if it works, but he's a villain at the moment. At a time when they have just taken control of this game.
So it will be Wakefield's possession from the scrum, which it is, with Knott. And he goes inside Holroyd. And it was a good job that Darren Shaw was there. Now then, here is Ben Westwood for the Wildcats. Good run from Westwood, back in the side after suspension.
He's had a strong game.
Davis to Wood. Good run then back on the angle. Great drive it was. Now here's Davis again. Short pass. Not. Davis jinking his way towards the line. Gets it away. Bounced off a Salford hand. But it went backwards. But the referee has seen a little knock on there. And so it's going to be Wakefield's head and feet, is it? Yes, it is.
He took the gamble there. Flicked it back on the inside. Well, I'm not so sure that he's picked up enough.
Just there.
Yeah, maybe you're right. There's Davis offloading. It hits Alker, fair and square on the head.
Well, he penalised, I was going to say, he penalised Wakefield in the first half for breaking away before the ball had cleared the scrum, and he's done exactly the same again here.
He can only tap, can't go for the two.
They've got the four. It's Slattery. He's not happy. The referee wants it checking out by Jerry Kershaw, tonight's video referee.
Coming from behind play, I just want to check the ground on that, please.
I think he was unsighted, Mr. Silverwood, to be fair.
Well, it was a good run that got him the try in the first half. He's taking it up to 2 now, and I don't think there's any problem with that. That was a good effort. But Salford, they were just hanging around, and this guy said, I'm over for try number 2. I can't see any problem with it, despite the efforts of the hooker, Alker. Well, that's all right for me.
Or did it just slip out at the vital moment? That's what Jerry Kershaw is looking for.
I think he's under control.
He's decided.
TRY for me.
Okay. Slattery hopes you're right, and you are. Tries given. Peter Rowe, big sigh of relief.
That's the pressure that comes along with being the coach these days. There was a smile on the face of Steve McCormack only moments ago. That's been wiped away, and this guy now has chance to grin, but he's fully aware there's plenty of time to go. This can go either way.
Well, he's had 4 from 4 tonight with the booty and Knott. This is by far one of the more easier kicks that he's had. It's 20-18 at the moment. It's 22-18 right now.
Well, full credit to the Wildcats. They come back in the best possible fashion. He's worked hard as Slattery. It was a similar run in that first 40 that got him his first try. And yet again, Salford pay that price of trying to go too high. And he's such a big lad, this fella.
So Holroyd restarts for Salford once again. Well, they get their noses in front for the first time, and immediately Wakefield come back and hit them where it hurts on the scoreboard.
Pretty impressed with the way that Wakefield is sharing the workload too.
This is Knott again. He's had a fine game, Ian Knott.
Yeah, playing out of position. But really he's dropping back into what he knows best, and that's running out wide of the centres. Better opportunity for him.
Here comes Tom Hockey. Hockey has got through the defender. He's got Sovatabur on his outside. Man on the inside. Carries on. Sovatabur will score.
Yeah, it came off the Salford man.
It came off the Salford man, as Steve-O said. And it bounced very kindly for Sovatabur. He just picked it up, and the Salford defence was in tatters. And the Fijian international, Wasale Sovatabur, the only ever present last year and top scorer with 14 in Super League for Wakefield. Well, this is a priceless 4 points here.
Good work. And you see there when it came off the Salford player. You play to the whistle in this game. Sovatabua gleefully accepts it. But again, watch the Salford defence. They're just hanging back. Didn't get to the tackle. Back on the inside. Hancock was nowhere to be seen, and that is very, very quick thinking from Sovatabua. Oh, he's happy, and he's every right to be.
And not at the extra 2. There's a little bit of daylight now between Wakefield and Salford. 10 points, no less. It's 28 points to 18.
Well, surely this is the point that Steve McCormack has to do something different and bring on Bobby Goulding, and there he is.
Yes, Bobby Goulding now will be introduced, I'm sure. He comes on in a little second half crisis, and the man who's going off is Watson.
Well, that surprised me. He's not too happy, is Mr. Watson, either.
Well, they have 2 dominant kickers now in Holroyd and Goulding on the field. But Bobby Goulding, who was busy pulling tongues not so long ago, is now out there to try and engineer a win.
Well, he's a cheeky chappie that really will inject a lot more enthusiasm into the play, that is for sure.
Mistake here by Wakefield has given this scrum to Salford, head and feed.
One of Bobby's great abilities is, though, that he does attract the people to him, and that often brings out 1 or 2 players out of the defensive line and creates a gap for his fellow player.
Malcolm Alker is the dummy half. The runner is Corvo, and Corvo is grounded, but they are the Wakefield posts that you can see there in the background. That's how close they are. It's with Goulding. The ball is through. Well, that's dropped. It is dropped there.
Stuart
Littler was the culprit.
Yeah, had the opportunity. Bobby was marshalling things. They tried the dummy runner coming back on the inside, which was going to work. To be fair, Sovatabua was there. Been an up and down night for Stuart Littler.
Well, 12 tries from him last year, the best of his career.
Well, they've weathered the storm, haven't they, the Wildcats? And patience now has got to be their key. No point in trying to keep this ball alive, fancy stuff. Not for the next 10 minutes anyway. Just trying to give the impression, oh, that's a good one.
It is an excellent run. And it was the number 17, Gareth Ellis. They're getting over the advantage line, Wakefield, and Salford having a devil's own job in putting them down.
Good work again from Feathered, and as I mentioned earlier, that Wakefield sharing the workload, and that's the reason why they're getting good ground forward.
Davis's kick is collected by Gibson. A little slip at the wrong time, and that's a great chase. And the breaks, there's the difference. Wakefield have made 12, Salford just a 5. Pinkney stands, hops, and nicks the ball back. And the tackling machine, Alker, is brought to the ground. Here is Darren Shaw. They're offside, Wakefield.
Oh, that was quick thinking. Well, they just run into each other, but I think something was also said to the official. Well, they don't want to give them an easy passage. This is when you really have to tighten your defence. You've got to be a little bit more positive, and well, it looks as though Wakefield have taken their foot off the gas at the moment.
Here's Corvo again to drive it in. He turned then and looked for the second phase that wasn't there. Alker in at dummy half.
That's been their problem, Eddie. Salford, they've had the opportunity to twist in the tackle. They have not supported the man that's carrying the football.
Goulding on to Holroyd. Ball comes back on the inside, and the Wakefield defence is there in numbers again to halt Francis Maloney.
Well, you could see Bobby Goulding marshalling the forward, saying, take it in towards the post. Will it be a kick from Goulding?
They've gone the other way. and they found Holroyd. The kick from Holroyd, the chase is on, and it's been shuttled dead over the line by the Wakefield defence. And that's Chris Tassel, I think, the former Salford man, who goes first to it.
Well, was he taken out there? Holroyd's kick was good. Did they move across his line of defence? I think they did. I think he's unlucky not to get a penalty there. If you're both running in the same direction, you can shoulder charge, but I got the impression that they squeezed this fella out.
Yes, he was the meat in a Wakefield sandwich, wasn't he?
Look, they move into him. That's got to be a penalty. That's obstruction.
Dropout gets to the 40-metre line. Back they come, the Salford City Reds, in the shape of Darren Treacy. Alker in at dummy half again. Good little run once more. Peter Rowe down on the touchline with his captain, Paul Broadbent, as Shaw drives it in again. That ball came out but was stolen. They'll take the tap. Oh, what a porridge! Corvo, the man from Brisbane, tried the quick tap penalty and knocked on.
Well, this is horrific.
And this is his debut as well.
Why on earth does a prop forward want to take control out there when you've got the likes of Holroyd and now Bobby Goulding? And I think that gives you some indication why players do elect to go on playing the forwards, Eddie.
Well, Mark Corvo made his first team debut in Australia exactly 9 years ago this weekend. And this is his Super League debut here, and that will be one little moment he will choose to forget. All that pressure, and suddenly the pressure is eased on Wakefield.
Well, he might
good outflow.
He might want to forget it, Eddie, but Steve McCormack, the Salford coach, won't.
Keeping it alive well now, Wakefield, good start. This is Ben Westwood, and Westwood fancies his chances. Oh, he's cut inside one. He's got away from two more. He's still going.
What a game he's had. Ben Westwood.
Hockey, the dummy half.
Shining light, Eddie. That was superb work.
Davis cut out pass to Knott. Not out wide it goes.
Good defence.
It was. Gareth Ellis was hunting the four. Wood now is doing the same from dummy half. Wood. Still Wood. Gets it away. Reaching out as he scored Feather.
He's short.
Just short. Quick play the ball. Are they in this time? Yeah. No. Maybe. Wood says he's got it down. Referee will have a look via the video.
Check that, please.
Nathan Wood says he's grounded it.
Eventually got it down. Just check it, please.
His smile says it all, really.
He's pretty confident. Reaches out there, and it's short. And then, how on earth has he done that? Maybe with the help of Gibson. It's not down yet. It isn't down yet. And I'm not so sure that it did eventually. Remember, this is in very, very slow motion. I'm going to go for the TRY. So close. You see Gibson desperately trying to stop the ball, and he's still got it.
Well, make your own mind up.
Well, unless you're a worm, I don't think you're going to get this right.
Tell you what, Jerry Kershaw gets some
benefit of the doubt.
Really difficult decisions.
And there's Wood pointing. He said, I've got it on terra firma. He points with a finger to the top of the ball, and Jerry Kershaw wants to have another look. He doesn't lose control, even though the efforts of Gibson makes it pretty difficult. And he's squeezing it down, and he says, I'm going to go TRY.
Well, he hopes you're right. Nathan Ward, is it a try? No! It's the turnover, and Peter Rowe spins on his heels and marches back up the steps to his seat on the front row of the stands. That is a big call by Jerry Kershaw in the context not only of this match, but possibly of the Wakefield season and the Salford season.
Well, this is amazing. I thought perhaps that the attacking side would get the benefit of the doubt. He seemed pretty impressed. Well, are they going to throw it all away? Is it going to upset them? No doubt about the fact that Broadbent was all over the
Well, Jerry
Prop
Kershaw
forward,
has
Mark
said,
Corbo.
Steve-O, by the way, that the ball was not grounded. That's his decision.
Hold your line. Wait.
Not grounded.
Okay, clear. Clear the rook. Clear the rook.
Well, I
He's
wonder
the
if
boss.
he is the boss. I wonder if that is a turning point we'll look back on in about 22 minutes or so.
Well, hopefully Wakefield will not hang around and start to fret. They've got to keep their composure. They're going to make sure their one line of defence is pretty solid. We've already seen throughout this game that Salford are capable of coming back.
And that's exactly what they're trying to do now. Olker is in at dummy half. Goulding dabs the ball through. It's all over the shop. Davis is trapped in goal. There's a goal line dropout coming up.
Neat little kick there from Bobby Goulding. And he had plenty of power on it too. That's the reason when it ricocheted off a pair of legs. You see quite clearly it came off Gareth Ellis. And Davis trying to get into the field of play. It's good scrambling defence. And I just get a feeling that...
Triple change by Peter Rowe.
well, Brad Davis has looked pretty tired in the second half. There was talk about him coming into this game with that injury problem on the dead leg on the thigh. And he couldn't very well be tiring, Eddie.
That's a good ankle tap by Westwood on Hancock. But he's so important to the Wakefield cause, as we say. Wakefield made 3 changes and Salford respond with one of their own. Oh dear, dear. Littler's pass.
Not the best.
Not the best, as you say. And he was stretching all the time then, Paul Southern.
And if looks could kill, Mr. Southern had a little look at Mr. Littler.
Tell you what, Steve-O, you look at these Salford players. Southern is pretty short. Hancock is pretty short. The barbers in Salford must be making a fortune.
It's all the rage, Eddie. It's a new style. The amazing thing is that evidently the women like it. They say that it makes men look attractive. Not so sure about that.
No, neither am I. Offside now, Salford.
Well, to be fair, Eddie, the quiff went out years ago.
Is that right?
Yep.
Never really looked on you as a fashion icon, I must say. By the way, Wakefield have used up all of their permitted substitutes. You noticed earlier on they made 3 changes in a row, so for the next 20 minutes, Wakefield go with what they have on the field. Peter Rowe has taken a bit of a gamble.
He sure has, and we mentioned the fact that Brad Davis looks a little bit out of sorts.
Well,
He could be struggling to get through, but this is the right option. It gives them chance to regroup, Wakefield, and he won't be rushing this, that's for sure.
Ian Knott faultless with the boot so far, 6 out of 6. The sort of form that can win matches. I think you're being a bit harsh on Davis, incidentally. I wouldn't say out of sorts. I think he's at a Trojans game, considering he was doubtful.
Oh, I'm not stating that, but
Missed it.
He was in full control in that first 40 minutes. And I think that the injury perhaps is hampering him in the second half.
Wait.
Well, Salford on their own line, but in possession. That kick from Knott missed, and what's more, did not go dead. That's why Salford have this football in hand.
Good
15
defence.
metres or so away from their own line. It is good defence from Wakefield. Broadbent leading the way.
And in that department, Gareth Ellis really has come to the fore. He's thrown his body at nearly everything. Oh, that's a lashing out there. Was it an accident from Mark Corbo?
Well, the referee has deemed it that way because he hasn't blown for the penalty. Maloney's ball inside to Pinkney, and down he goes. That's the last. The Wakefield man is on his feet, by the way, Tom Hockey. And Holroyd's gone for a 40-20. Sommer is perfectly placed, though. Stops any opportunity for that. And here he comes. Now then, talking of things coming, what's coming at you this week on Sky Sports? It's a busy week for the Rugby League department. Rugby League World on Wednesday is at 9:45 on Sky Sports 1. It's Chris Warren and Steve-O. Then next Saturday, Chris Warren will be back with you with Tulsa Tollett, South Sydney and Northern Eagles. Sky Sports 2 at 9:30.
That's good defence, though, isn't it? And Field really felt that. But you could see that the youngster Jamie Field was trying in many ways to offload when they really don't need to. This is the time when I say that they've just got to make sure they do everything right. Nothing fancy. 10-point lead is sufficient to get them through.
Alka.
Marcus, get square, Marcus.
This is Holroyd now. And here comes Paul Southern again. The Irish international, a real loyal servant, this fellow, product of the academy ranks at the Willows. Goulding, little dink over the top, that's a great kick. Salford knocks the ball back dangerously, and it's a good job that Martin Holland is there, and he gets Wakefield out of jail, and he comes to the rescue of the Fijian.
Well, it was an awkward ball for Savatabua, and the full-back, luckily, I think he knew what he was doing, but it was a heck of a gamble, wasn't it?
Martin Holland knew, do you think?
Well, he could see, to be fair to Savatabua, he could see that the full-back was in a good position. Savatabua knew that there was 2 or 3 Salford players around him. He came off, that's the main thing.
It did. Here's Ellis again. It's the last one, though, for Wakefield. Davis hammers the kick towards the corner. It will stay in the field of play because Pickney is there. It's an awkward bounce. It's a knock-on. Oh, dear. The chase was wonderful, and the ball was bouncing and bobbling, and Pickney just couldn't pick it up.
And it was brought about because of that pressure.
Poor old Steve McCormack, you know, I think he's going to go grey before the end of this season, before the end of this match, if there's more than that. Youngest in Super League, 28 years of age. He'll feel like he's 58 at the end of Super League 7.
And he's learning the hard way, that's for sure.
A glorious opportunity for Wakefield. Knott is grounded, 10 metres away from the line. There's Davis. Back it goes to Nathan Wood.
Well, will it be an early kick from Davis?
Savatabua, Davis, broad bent. Back it goes to Holland. Holland takes the tackle. It's a real scramble, a real battle in defence for Salford now. Nathan Wood again. Long ball, Davis, the engineer-in-chief. Oh!
Chance was on.
It was, and Pickney, who's got the ball, breathes a sigh of relief of his own.
Well,
here we go.
Maloney will throw a few. Getting a bit tight out there. Well, since this youngster Jamie Field has come back into the fray, he's dropped the ball on 2 occasions. And he's talking to himself, but he'll learn. He's a good prospect. He's a bit raw at the moment, but there's a little bit of a pushing and shoving. There's Tassel. Wanting to carry on with it. And rightly so, the official has said, calm it down, fellas.
65.5 minutes gone. Phil Clark, it's a battle royal, isn't it?
From Salford's performance in the first 60-odd minutes of this game, they certainly don't deserve to win it. But with only a 10-point gap, they've still got a chance to do it, and they've still got the pace within the side to put some points on the board. Just made a tactical substitution now, bringing Ian Watson back on in the hooking position. I suppose that gives them a more dangerous and creative player, playing with an extra half back in that role.
Thanks, Phil. Salford in possession. Corvo, he wasn't held, he still isn't held. Wrestled to the ground there by Tom Hockey. Watson gave the ball back into the arms of Treacy.
And yet again, Gareth Ellis in there in the tackle department. Peter Rowe must be very, very pleased with the way that their defence has worked hard.
Well, there was Davis. He read the Bobby Goulding script to perfection then.
Well, he dropped into the sweeping role, didn't he?
Savatabua again. Big, strong.
He's had a fine game as well, hasn't he? He's gone looking for the ball.
This fella's played well, Nathan Wood. And over the collar was the call from the referee. Stuart Littler's challenge on him. Savatabua's up the middle. Tried to get the ball away in an impossible situation. I think he knows it too.
Yeah.
A little bit more composure needed.
And they don't need to. This is the silly thing about it. And this is the reason why it's not the best industry to be involved in. He's a coach in Super League. A 10-point lead, and Peter Rowe would be quite happy to make sure that he gets these 2 vital points.
Well,
and I'm sure he's getting the message out there. Look, say, calm it down.
Well, he's also will be quite concerned because Ben Westwood is flat out on his back at the moment and is receiving treatment for cramp. But
well, he's done a lot of work.
all his subs have gone.
Got to stay out there.
Looks a little nervous, Peter, doesn't he?
A little.
Little more nervous than when he was with us on Wednesday night.
Mm.
He's still got a smile on his face, which is important.
But he still knows there's plenty of time for Salford to dig deep and maybe sneak it.
The looping pass from Goulding. Maloney at dummy half, gets the ball away. This is Southern again. It's a question now, with 12.5 minutes remaining, for both these sides to really grit their teeth. Wakefield to shoulder up in defence, and Salford to find something magical in attack to win the match. Can Goulding provide it? He got the ball away to Holroyd. Now then, they have men on the overlap out wide. It's reached one of them. This is Littler.
Swarming back. Oh, great enthusiasm. And who was involved there yet again? The man who was injured, Ben Westwood, and Gareth Ellis.
Well, the 26 players who are out on the field now will see this game out, because now Salford have used up all of their substitutions as well. And this is the last tackle. That's a great ball. And this is Malcolm Alka. And Malcolm Alka's got support from Holroyd. The chip over the top is for Goulding. Oh, he's overrun it.
Oh, what a wicked bounce. And Sovatabur, quick thinking.
And here comes the counter. Holland. He's put it down.
Oh, it's play on.
It is. Carry on is the referee's call, and it's Matty Ray.
Can he make a name for himself? He's done the right thing as a youngster. Hang on to that ball. Possession is vital. But what a wicked bounce. It was a wonderful kick from Holroyd. And Bobby Goulding looked for all the world to be sailing towards the line.
Here's Broadbent now at the other end for Wakefield. Wood is in support. Desperate defence from Salford, so unlucky.
It was a great build-up.
It was a wonderful kick, and the ball just bounced too much for Bobby.
Oh, what on earth are Wakefield doing? Well, Goulding can't believe it. And I'm sure that Peter Rowe can't believe that his side, this is the break, back on the inside, kick from Holroyd. Look at this, it's home and hosed, isn't it?
It is. I said he'd overrun it. I was a bit unkind to him.
Oh, it was a wicked bounce.
It was a 90-degree bounce the other way. Well, he was brought off the bench to win it, and he nearly got them back in with a chance of doing exactly that. Damien Gibson's away from Holland, but he can't get away from the next two in. And that was Nathan Wood and also Paul Jackson. 10 minutes to go, and 10 points the difference between these two desperate sides. Desperate for the points. Neither of them have picked up a win in Super League yet. But well, tonight's the night for somebody.
This should be a wake-up call to the Wildcats. He's gone for the 40-20. Oh, what a great take. He has really been a star tonight, this fella, Sovatabur. Not only has he done work in defence, but he's gone looking for the football. His positional sense is quite extraordinary.
That's a good run from Tassel. The minutes tick by, which make it even more desperate for Salford. Broadbent.
Will they think about a oneer?
I wonder. Wood gets the ball back, and it's a good run again from Hockey. That's the last one. Now, are they shaping? No, they're running it with Davis, and he'll dab it all along the ground and fine touch.
Good call by Experienced Davis there.
Well, that's why he's still out there, Steve-O, despite the fact that he might be only half fit.
Yeah, no, but they've got no option, Eddie. He can't be replaced.
No, they haven't now. He's going to see the game through. And he was telling us on Wednesday, wasn't he, just how important Brad Davis is to him. The old hand.
Well, he's controlled things, hasn't he? He steadied it down. I mean, his performance in the first half was
The ball has come away
superb.
from Hancock. They have it back. This is Jackson. Wakefield here now with a great chance. Jackson, the legs pumping. Hancock just lost the ball. He was surrounded by white jerseys. Not the best pass. On the bounce, though. Tassel's got it, and then he's picked up and ducked. This could be the killer blow for Wakefield if they can score. Broadbent still.
Great strength there.
Still going.
But he knows what to do. They've gone towards the post. Surely they'll go for one.
They're looking for four. They might get them. Great tackle. Wonderful tackle from the hitman of the year, Alka. Looking for the penalty there. Wood. Here is Holland. Martin Holland still. They're right underneath the post on the last. Will they go for one? Not has fallen back. Will they go for four? They're going for broke with Davis. Davis stabs it through. Touchdown behind his own line. I think that was by Darren Treacy. It was. Drop out from underneath the post coming up. More pressure on Salford.
And a good option to put boot to ball. I think he knows he's got it. And he's saying to them, that was the good option.
Wonder what thoughts are going through Steve McCormack's head. Went backwards, he got away with it, Ben Westwood. Great complaint from the Salford defence, but the referee, Richard Silverwood, said it went back. Here's Nathan Wood. Littler got to him. Desperate defence again from Salford with Michael Hancock in attendance as well. Davis gets the ball away. Bounced into the arms kindly of Watson, and here comes Gibson now for the Salford City Reds.
Well, they could rue the fact that they did not set up. They've had 3 occasions to set up for the one-pointer. It would have just knocked the stuffing out of this Salford side. But there's still chance, and he knows it too.
Nothing you can do from the sideline. All you can do is bite your nails and send the instructions out. And that's what Steve McCormack and Peter Rowe have done tonight. Baines for Salford. Tries to knock on.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose they've got to try and force the pace.
Yep. They're in the catch-up situation. Watson says that he didn't, but I can assure you he did. Baines did well. He knows that time's ticking away.
He must wonder where his next win is coming from.
He's only had one.
It's 1 in 11, and without an away win, Salford, since the 1st of July last year. Sovatabua again. It looked a dangerous tackle. The referee said nothing in it. Here comes Hockey again. Nathan Wood. Brad Davis. Broadbent just lost the footing at the vital moment. Took the tackle inevitably from Alka. Here's Sovatabua. Westwood now taking on Hancock. Getting away from Hancock and getting the try that will win this match for the Wildcats. Ben Westwood with the try, and come the end of September, just how important could that try be? Peter Rowe, all his Christmases have come at once. Steve McCormack, what thoughts are going through that young man's mind at the moment? It must be torture.
Well, the crowning glory for this guy. He really has had a wonderful match, and he enjoyed that very much indeed. And why not? It had to be scored in and out. He beat the former international Michael Hancock. That is a rare thing, and he will savour that, and rightly so.
And he crowns his comeback match from a 3-match suspension with the try that probably has now won 2 vital points for the Wildcats, and not with this opportunity to add the extras that would well and truly seal it. Not with a kick, just drifts it the wrong side of the posts. 32-18 though. I think Peter Rowe's men now have enough to win it, and Steve McCormack must wait at least another week for his second victory as the Salford coach.
Well, they've had to dig deep, haven't they, so many times, Salford, to drag the score back. And only once in this game they took the lead. They had a 2-point lead, 18-16, and it looked as though the tide was turning. But you've got to give credit to this Wakefield outfit.
And they're away again here. This is Ian Knott once more. He's broken the last line of defence. They come back and scramble him and haul him down. Well, the kick-off was shallow. It didn't come off for them. Wakefield now have got wind in their sails.
Wonderful effort as well from Ian Knott.
3 minutes to go.
He's got plenty of pace.
Davis, Broadbent, back it goes to Ellis. All these Wakefield youngsters and the old heads have been absolutely magnificent for their club and their coach tonight. Broadbent.
Oh, they can feel a lot of pride.
Flick pass was out of the back door, and it was by Jamie Field, but it went straight into Ian Watson's arms.
Well, I think they're quite happy and satisfied with the result, so can't be too critical of the fact that he did offload right underneath the stick. That's going to be a penalty.
And it is.
That'll eat up more time on the clock, but they will be celebrating. Little doubt that the prop Jackson stole that ball. Well, inside that man, he must feel extremely proud of his charges. They have dug deep.
It will be Peter Rowe's first ever Super League win. He took the big gamble. He gave up a very, very solid occupation to try his hand at coaching in the Super League. 20 breaks from Wakefield. That really is where this match has been won and lost. But Peter Rowe, as I say, he gave up a solid career. And he told me on Wednesday that if he'd not taken the opportunity, he would never have forgiven himself.
Oh, that's it. They're throwing them fast and aplenty. Hancock didn't take to it, and he's had a go at one. Well, he's got to go for this. I mean, the referee and the players had stopped it, and then Hancock went in with what appeared to be a king hitter.
Well, it's a bit of frustration, I suppose, for the 32-year-old, a former Australian international, Queensland State of Origin star, Michael Hancock. He's probably never had very many periods like this in his career before.
Well, he went looking for Wood. To be fair, Wood through the first, but it was when it had all calmed down, and it looked as though that peace. That's it. And, well, I'm afraid we can't have that.
24 gets up, Salford red, 24 gets up, and lunges at the Wakefield players, and he
Referee is taking his report from his touch judges.
Okay. Mike!
And Richard Silverwood wants a word with Michael Hancock.
Listen. All we've got here, you've played the ball and you've lashed out first. The penalty's going. Listen, just accept it. The penalty's going against you. Okay? Here, come here.
Penalties against Salford, we've heard that.
Stand there and take a punch. But try and don't take the law into your own hands. Okay? Penalty's going here.
Bit of a wry smile on the face of Nathan Wood. It always helps when you're getting the winning bonus. Little doubt that he went chasing.
He threw the first punch, but Michael Hancock went looking for him. So, but the touch judge gave the report that it was Hancock who threw the first.
And he found him.
Oh, he did. Well, it's all over, just about. Wakefield have won, there's no doubt about that. It's now a question of what the margin will be, because there's probably time left for maybe 2 or 3 tackles, no more. And can they get over for another try? The drive comes in from field again. Wood is there. That went backwards. It's picked up by Maloney. And Ian Knott managed. It was Ian Watson, I beg your pardon. He was brought down by Ian Knott. Counting down at the Bellevue ground to a victory. But now by how many? Forward pass.
That'll do it.
Well, at the end of this it might be. Davis was taken out. There's the full-time siren, is it?
Will when it goes down.
There it is. Relief around this ground for Peter Rowe and the Wakefield Wildcats. And Ben Westwood's try at the end was the killer blow. 32 points to 18. Brad Davis, magnificent for his team tonight. Sovatabua had a big game as well, scoring a try in the second half. But it was a dogged performance by Wakefield Trinity Wildcats, and that is a very relieved coach, Peter Rowe.